أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى سيدنا محمد وأصحابه وبارك وسلم أما بعد جماعة المسلمين السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Alhamdulillah, my brothers and sisters, here we are, the 27th night of Ramadan, Tuesday the 19th of the Maghrib, where we remind ourselves in terms of a commemoration of a happening that took place in a small cave on the outskirts of the mountains of Makkah, on Jabal Nur, the Cave of Hira, where humanity was served with the greatest gift in the life of the human being, the gift of the revelation of the Quran to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, a moment the value of which resonates and will continue to resonate across the ages, a moment that signified and heralded that from this moment onwards, if the human being so wishes to accept the value or take from the value of this moment, then the intellect of the human being will be taken out and saved from the imprisonment of blind following, of being subjected to societies where the intellect is not allowed to be used. And Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, having before that went up to this cave on Jabal Nur, as it later became known, because mountain of light, light of knowledge. Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and so were many other thinkers in Makkah, because Makkah, as we know, sits in a valley surrounded by mountains. They were all sitting up in these mountains and pondering. We know that the society down there in Bakka, later known as Makkah, it is not right the way people are living. The oppression, the cruelty, the exploitation, and so forth. But what is the solution? And of course, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was the chosen one by none other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to be the messenger, to be the one who's going to receive the message of the Quran, and the one who's going to be commissioned to give over the Quran to be followed. Laylatul Qadr, the Qudra, the powerful honor, the most powerful moment of honor that has been given to humanity. And of course, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says about this Quran, where Allah says the inherent power that this Quran carries, that this revelation carries, is as such, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, لو أنزلنا هذا القرآن على جبل لرأيته خاشعا متصدعا من خشية الله. If this Quran had to be revealed on the mountains would have been reduced to splinters, would have been smashed. Such is the inherent energy of the Quran. And it's also coincidental that this Quran, it was revealed on the mountain, شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن, the month of Ramadan. And Muhammad ﷺ was on the mountain, the cave. So what saved the mountain from being reduced to dust? It was the intellect of the human being. That intellect of the human being, that aql, it is not only capable of receiving and absorbing the Quran, but capable in engaging the Quran critically and reflectively, drawing conclusions from it, and implementing it in the life of humanity. This is the honor that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bestows upon humanity, that moment of Laylatul Qadr, the value of which resonates and will resonate across the ages. That is the power of that moment. And we, here tonight, in our lockdown, we have the privilege to think about it, to analyze, to reflect upon it, to discuss. And we have to ask ourselves the question, how do we want to take advantage of the value of that moment, so that we can realize what our duties are on this Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's dunya. And we can realize, as we have the nexus, the connection, at that point of revelation, between revelation and reason, because after all, the revelation was targeted at the intellect. And as Karl Popper, the philosopher, would say, a moment of the tension between knowledge and ignorance. No wonder Muhammad ﷺ was so overwhelmed, rushed home, had to be comforted by the wife Khadija radiallahu anha. Such was the moment. Such a big, powerful, honorable moment. Why? Because now we realize, if we want to realize, if we want to delve into and drink from the benefit, the value of the moment, that humanity has been given the honor and the ability to extract or turn information into knowledge. Because there's the Quran in a kitab form, a book form. We can read the Quran. We can make so many khatams. Alhamdulillah, may Allah accept it, inshaAllah. But as long as we do not ponder over that information to turn it into useful knowledge for the day and age in which we are living, the information, the divine information, will remain in book form and not in action form and not in knowledge form. No wonder Muhammad ﷺ says to us, Al-hikmah dalatul mu'min. Wisdom is that which is always elusive to the true believer, the one who truly puts trust, or their trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In other words, seeking knowledge from the cradle to the grave. Always be vibrant, always moving, in order that we live according to the dictates of the day and age. And therefore, brothers and sisters, we can say we're living in an age of information explosion. it is how we, the human mind, the human being, is going to turn that information into either useful knowledge for real and true growth and advancement, or to misdirect our interpretation of that information to cause suffering and hardship. And that realization to turn information into useful knowledge, that is when we start reaping the value of that moment of Laylatul Qadr that resonates across the ages. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, with our effort, grant us, each and every one, that we make maximum use of the value of the moment of Laylatul Qadr, the moment of revelation, and exercise it, implement it into our lives, individually and collectively, so that when we exit Ramadan, we exit on a higher level of consciousness. And I also would just like to end off in accordance with scientific advancement, which is part of turning information into useful knowledge, that the Eid will be celebrated, insha'Allah, on this Sunday, the 24th of May, insha'Allah. And may each and everyone, insha'Allah, have a Eid Mubarak. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us all. May we come through this situation which we are in successfully, insha'Allah. Shukran. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.